Hi, I'm Jeff, VW Bricks on the Instagram and other channels, YouTube. This is my castle that's had an expansion over the past few years. Originally it was a 6 foot by 8 foot castle. It's now 10 by 10. Over the past couple of years, I've added in this harbor section here with a dragon powered bouncy castle, as well as a nice harbor and some places to store the food, catch the fish, things like that. There's a mill in the back, a water mill in the back here that's being powered off of the waterfall.
I like the little bits of movement you've added in throughout it.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to do. It's hard to add movement to a castle because castles don't move, but it's just trying to add more stories to the display and stuff as well, and things like that. So, yeah. And the stories constantly change. Most of the figures, except for the jousting area, we put out on when setting up the show and stuff. So
it's always kind of a different setup every time.
Yeah, we always try to do it differently every time. I think the find a figures always move around the layout as well, just so that if a kid does come back next year, that they'll have something different to find, or somewhere different to find them, I guess.
Yeah, perfect. So what all do we have happening in the jousting area then?
At the front, we've got the jousting area with a small little market going on, some combat arena areas as well, and the archery tournament. We also have valet parking for anybody who has a horse. I still have to put a valet parking booth in. That's something I've always wanted to do, but I just never got to it. We've the tents are up front as well for all the different factions that are here. We've talked about maybe making it a little wider up front, adding a few more feet, but I don't know if that's going to work with packing it into a trailer. So, and then we've added on the farmyard, or the farm area, which is our newest addition from last year, or since last year, which has an apple orchard, a grain field with some kids causing some problems, a windmill that's spinning as well. And the windmill's head will pivot, so I can change the direction for the wind type thing. We've got a full farm set up beyond that, and then it leads into a forest with a nice river running along the edge. And part of that future expansion might be that this river hooks up to that lake at the end as well. So, if we want to do that. So I'm trying to think what else there is. We also have, all the different animals. We made it move. Parts are removable, so all the pigs, we don't have to set them up each time. We could just pull like a unit out and put it into a box type thing. I've also added a vine wall. My girlfriend has suggested maybe putting some vines up on the castle, and I didn't want to do that everywhere, so I'm like, well, why don't we have one vine wall with a couple of guys try to collect all the vines off of there to clean it up. There's also a little vine monster on there that's trying to attack. So, and then the last addition we did last year was the keep has been completely upgraded. When I had this first at Brick Fair, Alabama 4 years ago, the keep was built out of pieces that I had left. So I finally decided to try and use those same tower designs that I've had to build a more interesting keep that is 3 or 4 different levels now, with the blue and yellow accents in it as well to match the color of the flags.
Yeah, I love that throwback with the blue and yellow, kind of referencing different Lego themes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is primarily the Lion's Night Castle theme, but like I said, it's a tournament time, so there's people. Although everybody's fully armed, everybody's at peace right now, except for maybe the ogres at the back, which I think might be filmed right now. So.
One cool thing that I've seen you do that I always like is when you have a variety of trees like this. So it's not just the same type of thing. So point out some of your favorite designs in here and how these came together.
Yeah, so this year we added three new trees, or this last year we added 3 new trees. The pine trees using those flower stems, which is a common design around the world, or around the Lego community. We have the new bigger broadleaf trees that as far as I know, I'm the first person that started to use these. First I've seen, but don't comment, or don't anybody yelling at me on YouTube right now. I haven't seen them. And then also there's like the older style trees, which is one up here against the wall here in the brighter green. That's one I've had for 20 years. So I'm now trying to go with the more broader leafed, like the sand green leaf trees, just trying to get more branch structure and make it look more like a tree. Also noted just the grain field itself. Brick Crafts, who's someone from Europe or from Germany, he originally designed the idea of using the actual leaf pieces to hold the grain stalks in. And it's really great. They're a little fragile, for traveling, but I just love that idea, and I wanted to give him credit for it because it's a great design. So.
Now, for the castle itself, I know this design has been around. You've had this at different shows, but for people who haven't seen this, talk a little bit about kind of your overall approach with this.
Will do. So it's a spiral designed castle. It came about by me not wanting a square tower or a round tower. I wanted something new. I came up with the octagon design that uses panels and plates in between to fill in the gaps of the where the sides meet. Once I had that design figured out, I was then like, okay, great, now I can build an octagon castle. That was still a little boring, so I was playing around with different layouts, and I came up with the idea of a spiral, but I wasn't sure if that would mathematically work. So that next step was, okay, what's the formula to have the space between the castle walls the same all the way down? And it turns out every wall is 4 studs longer than the previous wall, and that became a perfect math for this, and I'm still stunned that it works. And then at that point it was like, okay, well, castles are usually start on top of a mountain, or the most defensible position would be the keep on the top. So I wanted it to go vertically. So every 4 plates it actually goes up, or for every 4 studs it goes up 1 plate as well. So the base level is like off the tables, like a brick off the tables. The center of the castle where the keep is 35 bricks off the table. So I didn't know that until I actually got there, because I started from the bottom and worked my way up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It is a really impressive display. I love to see how it's grown here with all of the action around the castle. So did you say you have plans to continue to expand?
Yes, but that's really dependent on if I can do it in a way that I can pack it and set it up really quickly. We're still trying to put things into a more modular idea, like the grain field fits into a couple of boxes, and there's almost no setup involved. It's just put it down and you're done, maybe fix a few things. So if we can do that, I'd like to get a couple of the shorter tables up front and maybe have the coastline kind of continue along the edge, and maybe have a final castle wall out there that's a lower one. But at the same time, I don't want to block the view from the kids. So it's one of those balancing acts of how can we do it. I technically have a little bit more room in the trailer to carry the stuff, but I don't know if it's going to be something I can actually do. So.
Yeah, well, either way, we look forward to your future display. So thank you for taking us through everything here. I appreciate it.